this is what was voted for. This is what was voted for. So the reaction to this is very key. Like people's reaction to this is what is very key because this was shocking. Like as what everybody has been saying is we've never seen anything like this. We've never seen very important, highly sensitive political negotiations between two world leaders play out, not just in front of the media, in front of the public. It's one thing for, like, let's say the media to view it and they then write about it. It's another thing for all of us to witness it. Like everybody in the world who has access to the internet, which most of the world does. But it's people's reactions to it. So let me take you through the timeline. So when I watched this, I didn't look at the comments. Sometimes I look at comments before the video, but I wanted to watch the video first before looking at the comments. So my initial reaction is, look at how you're treating another world leader, and look at how you're acting towards another world leader. Like in Nigeria, we call it Bush. Not George Bush, but being very Bush, like very uncivilized. JD Vance and Trump, they were acting like Bushmen, like uncivilized barbarians, like barbarians in suits. Like I was like, you can't talk to another world leader like that. You can't just say to a world leader, yo, you've not said sorry. Why haven't you said sorry? It's crazy. But I'll tell you where this all links in. So when I saw that video, then I looked at the comments, and the comments was, oh, this is amazing. Oh, this is incredible. We've never seen this. Oh, raw footage, amazing. And yes, that is true. We do need to see this. It is good to see this being raw, unedited, and giving you that's real, which is great. And I just think it just shows you where the world is going to, where we can actually witness this in real time, unlike how it was before during the days of traditional media. But this is not TV. This isn't a TV show. This isn't 24. This isn't Breaking Bad. This isn't the Wire. This is real life. And the comment I'm going to come into is where a guy says this will make great TV. I'll get back to that, but this will make a great TV. But my whole thing here is, it's because you have to have particular decorum, because there are two ways to view it. Because I've been watching a lot of podcasts and people breaking things down. There are Americans who would love this. There are many Americans who will view how this played out and be like, yes, that's the America I like. Brash, in your face, direct, no BS, no political BS, straight and direct, unfiltered, down to the point. We're not here to play. We're tired of supporting you. You guys, take the deal. Take it to all or leave it. We're America. Boom. This is how we do. And the many Americans that would like, or that would love, they would love that brash, direct nature that has been taken. But this is the reality here. The reality is, this was disgraceful for America. It was. Because, see, Trump, you have to realize what is. So there are just certain things about what is. So now we can laugh, we can joke, Donald Trump, the Trump dance. But now we're not getting into the real world, where people are losing their lives, nuclear weapons are around, and a threat of World War III. So these are real things. And this is what Trump needs to realize. And this is what I've said before. The UN is useless. I knew the UN was a useless organization when George Bush used his veto power to go into Iraq. A dude went there and said there are no weapons of mass destruction. Screw it. Veto power, I'm going to go through. So once George Bush did that, bringing in Tony Blair and the UK into that stupid war in Iraq that was really for oil, then I knew that, okay, UN, you're useless. You're useless. So that is when I knew, back in 2003, that, how have we been so stupid? The world police is America. The world police isn't the United Nations. The world police is the country with the biggest army. The country with the biggest army and the biggest guns, they are the world police. So, Trump, you are the world police. And you now have to decide, because it's a decision. Either it's about, no, America first, it's all about America and what America do, or yes, we have to worry about America and our country, but we are the world police. And we have a duty to protect what is right as the world police because we have the biggest army. Now, it's a choice. Because a guy will say, no, who cares if we have the biggest army? Yes, we are fortunate to have the biggest army, but we are going to decide what we do with our guns and our weaponry. And my choice is no, like we're going to protect America first, and we're not going to go out helping another country. But another viewpoint is, okay, world police, we have a duty to protect what is right. A guy's country was attacked. A sovereign nation, a sovereign nation was attacked. There's nothing to dispute here. Putin broke international law. Whether Putin says that a law was broken with regards to Ukraine entering the NATO and that was a deal that has now sort of been gone back on because it was supposed to be agreed upon that Ukraine was never supposed to join NATO and Zelensky went against that. Whatever the case may be, the fact of the matter is, Putin, you broke international law. You attacked a sovereign nation. So you are the bad guy here. You simply are. You are the bad guy here. So now, because the thing here for Trump is, I said this in the previous video, this is about the Trump name. What Trump wants is, I was the guy that's made peace. Now, bro, of course, bro, we all want peace. Nobody wants war, but at what cost? So I've been fighting for 3 years just to sign a deal that makes all that fighting for 3 years for nothing. Because it's peace at what cost? So I signed that deal, that minerals deal. What happens afterwards? Putin just says, okay, it's fine. So Putin has fought all these 3 years just to be like, you know what, I don't actually want East Ukraine anymore. It's fine. It's East Ukraine, you can just stay there. Because what are these terms? So Trump, you can't just bully a guy into accepting that. But before we go into that, it's like perception is very key. Like America's perception right now is you're just bullies. And again, there are many Americans that would love that. But I've just been on Reddit, I've been on YouTube, I've been speaking to guys. You can never paint anybody or any nation with one brush. Because there are Americans who would love this display by Trump. Yes, USA, USA. But there are many other Americans who are like, this is embarrassing. And this is one of the most disgraceful moments in American history. And there are many veterans who have served, who have said, this is disgraceful. To treat another world leader like that is a disgrace. Even if the world leader was a loser, there's just particular decorum. But this is a guy who is trying to defend his nation that was attacked unjustly. And you are treating him like some guy from the road, saying that, why hasn't he said thank you? And he should be thankful. It's so bush. Basically, it is so uncivilized. It is so trash that I'm like, what? Literally, it's like you've literally got thugs running the most powerful country in the world. Just a bunch of thugs from the road. So you've got the Musketeer, you've got our Rubio guy, you've got J.D. Vance Dance and Trumpinski controlling the most powerful country in the world, which is insane. But guys have to be key here. So there's this whole dialogue about how, oh my gosh, Trump has finally stood up to Zelensky, and this just shows you that Biden was so weak because Trump was able to be strong against Zelensky. Do you know that Zelensky used to be a comedian? A stand-up comic. See, now he's got to look tough now because he's got to look tough for his country as a leader. But prior to being the leader of Ukraine, he was a stand-up comedian. That's his background. So you standing up to a stand-up comedian, what, you want a pat on your back for that? Well, that now that makes it tough or real? No, if you want me to be tough or real, stand up to a guy who was former KGB. Now that's real. Talk that talk, act like that, and talk slick. I would love J.D. Vance and Trump to talk like that to a guy who is former KGB, a former spy. Not a stand-up comic, a former spy. Then it'd be like, oh wow. So you're talking like that to Putin when you know who he is and you know his history? Okay. Because this ain't no stand-up comic. This ain't no former comedian. And people know of this guy's history. And the thing here is this, guys, who is most happiest about this? About how all this has played out. Who is happiest about this? Putin is laughing all the way to the bank. You see, I've known many Russians throughout my life, and I think in almost every school I've been to, I've been either friends with Russians or just really known them, just hang out with them. It just happened. Shout out to my man Dima, Denis Derenkov, Artyom, all these guys that I've known. And every Russian I've known, been friends with, they have a very particular character. There's a very particular character they have about them. And Putin is very old school. And he's smart. He's smart. And also, again, guys, you have to connect the dots. He's former KGB. He's a former spy. Trump, your daddy's boy. You were born with a silver spoon. You are a TV show personality. This guy was a former spy, former KGB. Do the math. I think we know who understands these political games a lot more. So while one guy is trying to make deals because he thinks it's the apprentice, another guy is playing 5D chess because he's a former KGB spy. So Putin is saying, Trump, my boy, beautiful. Medvedev, the guy who was the former puppet leader at one point of Russia, put out a tweet saying that, what's it called? That insolent pig finally been put in its place, referring to Zelensky. So if you're Putin, you're like, this is beautiful. Because now I'm back at the table. This Trump, he's desperate for peace because he wants it to be that Trump was the guy who made peace. And this gives me an end to get what I want from Ukraine, based on Trump's desperation to be the guy who made peace. Because all Trump wants is, hey, Trump, I was the guy. Trump wants to be, I was the guy who brought peace while Biden brought war. I am better than Biden and Obama. I was the guy who brought peace, they brought war. So while that happens, Putin's like, I get what I want. Or I get closer to what I want. And the bigger picture here is this. So this is the matter of Russia. Again, it's a bit small for you guys, but I'll try and make it as big as possible. So if you see, basically, if you look at it there, so you can see Ukraine there. So from what I've been reading, people are saying that a really worst case scenario that I've been hearing about, the people have been saying is, do you think he's going to stop at East Ukraine? Why stop there? He could go into Ukraine, then go into Lithuania. Estonia is there. Latvia is there. Finland is there. All former Soviet states. Because the idea is, and I think this is what people have said, that Putin wants to bring back the Soviet nations. Because the key thing here is this, is that why would he want to just stop at East Ukraine? Why? Because these are how these things start. Okay, no, Ali wants this place. But now I have this place. Why not this place? Why not this place? Why not this place? Why should you believe that Putin just only wants to take over East Ukraine? Because the danger is he could just start walking through, and just start to now increase the territory and take back those Soviet territories. Because you always have to play out the worst scenario. Remember, people are like, oh, Hitler, he's just doing his thing. He's doing, okay, going into Poland, blah, blah. And then he just saw how he was encroaching. And people, until it was too late, like, oh, look at what this guy is doing. Because we're just ignoring him as we're just slowly building and expanding his territory. So, again, look, we don't know exactly what Putin's ulterior motives are, or what he wants, greatly, but you have to be wary. You have to be wary of a guy who is former KGB. And again, I told you, as a guy who's known many Russians in my life, many Russians I've been friends with, like, I just look at Putin and just his body language. This guy's old school. And you always have to be very wary of this kind of Putin guy. This is an old school dude. This is an old school dude. But I think here is, and then there's the thing here, and I remember I wanted to go back to what I said before. So, like the last thing that Trump said after that crazy thing with Zelensky was, "This would make a great TV." This is who you voted. You see, Trump, like, and I think this is the issue: is Trump is simply doing what the people voted him for, because Trump went out, acted like a clown, cracking jokes, saying he's got concepts of a plan, all this stuff, and he was voted in, and he won the popular vote. So in Trump's mind, it's like, this is what they voted for. I had the popular vote. So Trump is like, anything I do is right because the majority of the nation voted for me. So in his mind, it's like, yes, they do want to see this stuff, because the key thing here is this is like a double barrel. So I remember I was watching like a video breakdown where they said that this was a setup, and it was. Because why keep the cameras rolling? So you want to keep the cameras rolling because you want the perception to be this Zelensky doesn't want peace. And you want to weaken his view. Because prior to that video, it was seen as he's like a war hero. He's doing a great thing, and people are just admiring how he's fighting against the aggressor. So what they wanted by keeping the cameras rolling and asking those premeditated questions is, let's try to diminish and demystify and alter the narrative and the perception that Zelensky has had in the past 3 years in the Western world. And if you could just change people's views and present it to be, this guy is being stubborn and he doesn't want peace, and he's just forcing America to be in a war that he can't win, then Americans will be on board with, let's just take our weapons out, let's take our money, because this guy is not interested in peace. So that was premeditated. That's one point. A second point is what Trump wants. Trump is like treating The Office as it's another version of The Apprentice. It's a TV show. It's showbiz. Because to say that sentence of this would make great TV, it's like, Trump, you know, this is real life. Lives are being lost. This is like real war. This ain't great TV. This isn't entertainment. This isn't Apprentice. This is real life. This is real. But as I said again, like, it's whatever the case may be, like, that was embarrassing. For America, that was embarrassing. You know, that was just completely disgraceful. And even people here in England are like, no, you've got to cancel that. Like, Trump can't be allowed in England. Like, unless he apologizes to Zelensky, which he won't. Unless he apologizes to Zelensky, he cannot be invited to anywhere in Europe. Because what you've done now, you've pretty much put a wedge between America and Europe. You simply have. So any European nation cannot accept Trump on their soil until he apologizes to Zelensky. Because Zelensky has nothing to apologize for. So I don't know what they're talking about. Or you should say thank you. No, he has nothing to say thank you to or sorry to. That is just insane. Like, while the cameras are rolling and the media are rolling, you are trying to demand of a leader to say thank you. That's madness. Again, it's about general decorum. Of course they should be thankful. Of course they should be. But demanding that of someone in front of the media, no, that says more about you than him. That shows your character rather than their character. It's like, I helped someone out. And obviously, because he has said thank you. Because people have said that he's already said thank you before. But I helped someone out with something. And I said, no, you must say thank you in front of everybody. But I already said thank you to you privately. No. But while everybody's watching, I want you to say thank you so everybody's watching. No, that says more about me that there's something wrong with me, that I've got a weird ego problem. you know. But I think beyond that, again, it was all a setup. But my thing though is, did it work though? Because how much of the American public will view that as, yeah, Zelensky, man, you're just someone obsessed with war? Or how many Americans will view that as, that will go down as one of the most disgraceful and embarrassing moments in American history?